is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
This is only a test.
DJs in MC. This DJ, he gets down.
Listen to this jockey's introduction to
Two DJs in a mic with your host, DJ Mike
Is that a timetable?
and DJ JP.
Well, get on it. It's your turn.
Give me the mic.
All right. Enough of it. It's a very addictive track.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Well, thank you guys. We have another installment of Two DJs in a Mic. And we have the lovely DJ Rachel with us today. And we just want to thank you, Rachel, for being here with us. Unmute your mic, Rachel. There you go.
Right.
Yes. So how you doing today, DJ Rachel?
Hey guys, I'm so good. First of all, that intro track, that thing goes hard. Like I'm telling you, that's a serious vibe.
We know.
I still have it playing in my headphones. Do you guys still hear it?
No, it's over for us.
If you're on Facebook,
Are you on Facebook or on?
because it's off.
It's like full volume in my headphones,
Wow.
and it's a jam, but it's like full volume.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
amazing.
So you might.
Okay, it just ended. It
Okay.
just ended because the song's
Okay.
over.
Okay.
But guys, that was a jam.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're good
Thank
now. We're
you.
good.
Okay.
Yes. We have to give a shout out to DJ Mad Scientist for putting that together for us.
Sure, man did that.
Yes, he is a great guy that does some wonderful things when it comes to production. So he's a good guy. So thank you, man.
That was fire. That was fire.
Yes, thank you. So, man, this is wonderful. We're just so excited to have you on with us, and we really want to get your take on on this thing we call the DJ industry. And I guess first and foremost, we just want you to tell us a little bit about you and what you do and how and what you got going on.
Sure. Again, thank you so much for having me here, folks. I really appreciate the opportunity to connect and for everyone who's, tuning in. So first, just let me get kind of like my socials out there, because if anyone wants to connect, after the broadcast, I'd love to, connect one-on-one, or if anyone has any questions or anything. So literally everything is at DJ Rachel. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube. You can email me, djrachel@me.com. Mixcloud, you name it, like let's connect. I'm all about connecting. So I am a private event mobile DJ based out of Connecticut. I've been doing this about 20 years, but I'm going to say legit in terms of a business, with the LLC and all that, about 12 years now. Wow, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, 2023 is here. It's been about 12 years.
Like you should be playing volleyball in maybe college, but not high school.
No, I'm definitely older than people think I am. It's not a secret. I'm 37. I will be 38 in April. So, I've been at it a while, but really kicking off the past like 12 years.
Rachel, that's not old. My oldest daughter is 5, so that's not old.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're young, but you're old in the business, or experienced in the business, which is a good thing. Okay.
Wow.
And I just feel that like I am in such a sweet spot. You know, like this age is so tremendous because you're mature enough and you have your wherewithal to actually run an efficient business, but you're still young enough to know how to throw good events and still be dialed into current trends in music. And I feel like I'm in the best place of my life ever. So
That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
So,
great place to be.
So anything besides your socials you want to share with us? Anything you got coming up, going on? Anything we need to know about Rachel?
Well, I'm really excited about the DJ shows, you know, that we kind of talked about before. So I'm going to be at MEX in February down in Las Vegas, where they kind of combine DJ and photo booth stuff. I own a photo booth and I'm a DJ, so excited about that. I'm going to be working with Danny Max out there. He's flying me out to kind of just be like an ambassador for his stuff because I have his booth and I love it, and he gets a lot of questions, and he'd like to have a working DJ, you know, be able to kind of help him out. I'll be at Marquee Show as a host, so out in Chicago. I think that's in June, and then Atlantic City in August. And we got Harvest of Sound in Boston in November. Or no, December. So I'll be at a lot of DJ shows, so I hope some of you folks can make it out, connect. We'll grab a slice, and it'll just be awesome. Pick one show. You know, I don't expect everyone to be able to kind of go to all of them like I do, but if you just pick one, I think it's really important just to connect, network, see what's out there, stop by the vendors, you know, support them, you know, the kind of companies that make this all possible for us as well. You know, the only way they're going to keep innovating and investing in the community is if the community kind of, you know, invests in and supports them. So it kind of comes full circle, you know?
For me, there's nothing like being able to put your hand on a new controller, a new light, putting your hand on it, right? You know, not seeing it on a video or having to read about it. There's nothing like going on the showroom floor and seeing all the new stuff that some of it they have sometimes that's not even on the market. So that's one of my favorite parts of the show too, besides all the networking and the great great speakers and presenters that they have. But, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get into DJing, and how did that change your life?
Oh my gosh, how much time do we got? So it's a wild story, guys. I've actually told this story a lot. So if anyone kind of follows me closely, you probably already heard it. But for anybody who hasn't, this is how DJ Rachel was born. So believe it or not, I never wanted to be a DJ. Like, it was not an aspiration of mine. Never even thought it was in the cards. However, my older brother, who was a DJ, I was obviously around, you know, his CD collection and his passive system and just kind of, you know, checking out his gear and stuff. But again, I didn't actually want to do what he did. So anyway, one morning he had a medical emergency where we were kind of downstairs and we heard this really loud crash up into his bedroom. So my family and I run upstairs and we actually found my brother kind of unconscious on the floor, and he had fallen into his closet doors, and he was actually getting dressed to go to a wedding that day.
Wow.
So we had no idea what happened to him. You know, for all I knew, he could have died. We found out, you know, just to quell some of the anxiety, he was an undiagnosed type 1 diabetic. And
sugar spike.
He went into pretty much a diabetic coma from DKA because he had diabetes and didn't know it. So anyway, he was whisked off to the ICU. He was critically ill then. And I kind of was like, Dad, you know, he's ready to go DJ this wedding, and these people have no idea, you know, what just happened to him. You know, at the time, I was like 15 or 16 years old. I only had a driver's permit, so I didn't even have a driver's license, you know, at the time. So my dad had to help me finish kind of packing his stuff. And I said, and this is also before GPS, really, or GPS was really expensive then. So I had MapQuest directions that were printed out on his desk. And I also believe at the time, like, you had to pay like per text message. So it wasn't like the free communication, you know, we had now. So it was a really complicated situation. And then also, you know, being his little sister, I couldn't just pick up the phone and call like a backup DJ. Like it didn't work like that. Like now as a professional, I have people I could call if I was, in a bad way. But again, this wasn't like that. It was me and my dad. So we finished packing up the car and we show up to these people's event. And of course they're like, this ain't our DJ. Like, who is this little girl and who's this like weird old man? Like what is this? So I explained to them, my dad and I, what had happened, just so they understood that, we were telling the truth, that we cared, that my brother just didn't, steal their money and, flake on them. Cause, we hear about that all the time with, DJs that, say, hey, I'll do your entire wedding for $250 and then just, don't show up. Like this wasn't one of those situations. So I said, listen, I'm not a DJ, but I have his CD collection and I know a little bit about, what play is and a volume fader. And, I'm better than nothing. Your only other choice is an FM radio somewhere. Like there wasn't Spotify, there wasn't, XM radio, there wasn't Tidal, right? That's it. So the couple was absolutely distraught, like obviously, because their DJ wasn't there. So between me and my dad, we showed up hours early, to give them advance notice, and maybe they had a plan B to give them time to kind of figure it out, but they didn't. So they said, sure, do whatever you can do. So this was a passive Bose system. Again, we're all used to these comfortable, powered speakers that we have today, or something like an Evolve 50. These things were hella heavy. These amps weighed more than I did. And he had a 18-inch Sherwin Vega sub. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that thing was like the size of like a Volkswagen.
Yeah. With the little lean
wheels. With the lean bar. Yeah. Like that's what I'm talking about. So me and my dad are trying to find out, how to put this together. And pretty much all we did was, if it had a round hole and it looked like the thing plugged into it, we'd put it in. If we didn't get any sound, I'd pull it out, put it in the next hole. Do we hear anything? No, we don't. Pull it out, put it in the next hole. We just literally plugged and played until it worked. So it was not my most obviously graceful event. It was a step above a train wreck, like whole songs played. I wasn't blending or anything, but at least they were able to do a first dance. At least they weren't sitting in silence. I did the best I could with the resources and the little bit of knowledge, that I had. But at the end of the day, it was about doing the right thing for this couple and for my brother, and just kind of walking away with a clean conscience, knowing, we as a family, did the best we could for those people that day. So that was literally my first event, was being thrown into a wedding as a non-DJ with my brother pretty much dying in a hospital. So,
wow.
Wow.
So that's pretty wild.
Let me ask you this. So, and just hearing that, hearing you say that just brought so many thoughts to my mind, because that's the type of stuff that will shatter somebody's confidence, for one. And then on top of that, in doing that and experiencing that, how did you discover a love for DJing?
So here's how it kind of, progressed from that. So as my brother kept DJing and stuff like that, obviously I got older and he was kind of doing the bar and club thing. And of course, little sister wanted to be a part of that scene, and it wasn't about the drinking and the partying. I just wanted to be around the dancing, the music, the energy. So he would bring me as his assistant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be getting into, nightlife spots as a underage, 17, 18, 19-year-old. And he would go out for a cigarette and say, all right, you see this song, Return of the Mac, and you see, I don't know, Crazy in Love by Beyonce. When this gets to 30 seconds, I want you to hit this button when you see that. And he would give me like little itty bitty mini lessons just so he could go out and smoke and then come back. Well, a 5-minute cigarette break turned into a 30-minute cigarette break, turned into an hour, turned into an hour and a half set. And I just every weekend that I went out with him to dance and just look at what he played and how the crowd responded and how I was responding, dancing on the floor and doing these little mini sets, like I just kind of built this really organic ability to DJ, mix, read a crowd, get to know music, and things like that. And then after I was in these epic nightlife spots, I was hooked. You kind of feel like a king, like a god up there, in the booth, and people are responding to what you do. Like, who wouldn't find that intoxicating, So then as private events came in, if he was double booked, he'd say, hey, you want to take this event? And he had extra gear. As he got new stuff, I got his hand-me-downs. And then instead of them calling him back, if I did a good job at a party, word of mouth, they'd say, hey, we had this girl, she was a lot of fun, she did a great job, and then you want to do this party, and then here we are 12 years later. I have a business that I never even wanted in the first place. It's wild just how life just pulls you in ways you never would have imagined.
Absolutely.
Wow.
If that ain't destiny, I don't know what is. You know what I mean?
Hey, I got you. And it clearly was destiny, because you're still doing it. And not just doing it, you're doing it in a big way. And you're doing it the way that you want to do it, which makes all the sense in the world. Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Love it. Love it. Jeffrey.
All right. Miss Rachel, do you feel like being a lady DJ helps you or hurts you when it comes to trying to book events?
It's a very interesting question, and it's a multi-part answer. So for every disadvantage, there's an advantage. So I'm going to call it like a wash. There's absolutely events where people are specifically looking for a female DJ, especially in the LGBTQ community. If there's like a Sweet 16, who wouldn't want, their daughter to see, a badass female, rocking their party? I definitely get some events who are looking for quote unquote female DJs, but I've absolutely lost some events for being a female DJ. So honestly, I just focus on, people who see your value and your talent, and just there's always going to be people that want to work with you and people that don't want to work with you. I think it's ignorant to think that people don't judge us on our appearance, our age, our race, our gender. Like, they might not outwardly say that, but there's absolutely people that would look at, maybe a DJ in their 60s and think that they couldn't rock a prom, when in fact they could, but automatically you're not cool or dialed in because you're an older DJ. Age discrimination, and I think we all deal with some of that in some way. So you just have to focus on the people who want to work with you.
It's funny you say that.
I think it was
Go ahead. No, it's funny you say that, because we just had a planner post. She was a DJ with a criteria, and it eliminated half of the great DJs I know, because she said you had to be under 45. So half of the guys.
That's ridiculous.
Yes. So, but we won't stop you. So go ahead. Go on to your next point. I'm sorry. I just had to throw that in.
No, but 100%. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I think being a female was harder when I started, simply because it was so much more difficult to prove myself, because social media wasn't what it was then, what it is now. So now I feel like the female DJ thing isn't really an issue anymore, because as long as you do good work and you're able to show people you do good work, I don't think it matters. But back in the early 2000s, there wasn't Instagram and Facebook, and YouTube wasn't what it was. So I actually use these platforms to my advantage to kind of combat the bullies and the people who didn't think I could do a good job, and didn't think I could actually set up my own gear, and didn't think that I actually could mix my own music. And that was kind of what prompted the social media platforms, that I currently have. And because I'm very transparent and I put myself out there, I don't think the female thing is really a problem anymore, because people, it's just kind of like, what you see is what you get. But 20 years ago, I didn't have that. They just saw a young, fresh-faced female, and they're like, come on, really? So.
Yeah. And my next question I'm going to ask it in a different way, Rachel. And I'm going to put it on the screen, but I'm going to ask it in a different way, because it seems that, which is a good thing, and I applaud you for this. It seems that you have raised yourself above being affected by people that look at the difference between male and female. And you don't see that, you just see yourself as a DJ, which we all should see ourselves. And I applaud you for that. And I just know with dealing with that, like you say, in the beginning or in the early years, sometimes those things can be very disheartening.
Yeah.
And you may think that some people are not the way that you find out they are. And it's like, wow, really? That's how you feel? You got a mama, you got a sister, and that's how you look at them? So it just seems like you've raised above that. And if you can speak to that, that would be great.
Well, I think, you have two choices, right? And instead of getting mad, I decided to get motivated, because I enjoyed what I was doing so much. And, the time I got to spend with my brother and the clients I was meeting and stuff, I refused to let the negativity and the bullshit, so to speak, knock me off of my track. So, the more people said I couldn't, the more I wanted to prove them I could. I'm an Aries, man. I'm really stubborn. So,
tell me about it.
I'm just a very mission-driven person. And I never used the female DJ thing as part of my branding. It was never a marketing tool for me. I never viewed myself as that. I was always just a DJ, and I think if we can kind of just remove labels and just see talent for talent and professionals for professionals, that's honestly all that really matters,
You do the job.
So do the job.
Yes, and if you can't do the job, it doesn't matter what you look like. You just can't do the job.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
So my question is, how did you get into reviewing products? Because that's when I really discovered you. So how did that come about?
I actually remember the specific product too. So I had a Denon MC6000 MK2 controller. And I wanted to ditch the flight case because it was so just heavy and cumbersome. So I was looking for a dope backpack that would fit that little controller. And if no one knows what it is, the thing is like 8 to 10 years old by now. It's discontinued, unfortunately, but it is a tank. Like, I still have it. It's like my favorite controller. I love this thing. So anyway, I'm around shopping for backpacks, and I came across one, and I couldn't really find any like videos or anything showing the inside of it. So I took a leap of faith and I bought this backpack. It was like $200 at the time.
Wow.
And I decided to do my own video on it simply because one didn't exist for it. And I'm like, all right, maybe this would be helpful for somebody else. And I posted it in a Facebook group. Well, a lot of people kind of reached out and were like, hey, this is great. Would this fit? What do you think about this and this and that? And I'm like, all right, maybe I'll kind of, keep rolling on with this. And then out of the blue, iDJ Now, who's a pretty prominent, DJ gear retailer, reached out and they're like, hey, we really like what you did with this bag. Is this something you normally do? Would you be interested in maybe, partnering with us? We'll send you stuff that you're interested in. And if you want to buy it, we'll give you like I think it was like a 25 or 30% discount. And if you don't love it, you can send it back. And if you want to keep it, you can buy it at a discounted rate. And that was kind of the business agreement. So I did some things for them. And then it just kind of started kicking off, from there. Now I'm not really affiliated with anybody. I just kind of want to review things that I use and are in my collection. And then the other motivation behind it was, as my social media presence grew, I got a lot of the same questions like, hey, what is that? Where can I buy that? How does this work? and it was just like a million messages. So it got to a point where it was just easier for me to make a video and say, hey, check this out. If you have any questions, let me know, versus doing 1,000 messages on the same stuff. So that's kind of like how it evolved.
Okay,
so just with some backpack.
You no longer do it, but you had just. So who else reached out to you and sent you stuff? I know I remember some J-Maz. Is that how you say J-Maz? The powered lighting and different things like that, right? Remember those?
So I actually, yeah. So I still have them. They're a part of my normal lighting collection. Same thing with Ape Labs. Like these are things that like I personally own.
So you were beyond that point when you got to that. Okay.
Yeah, because see, when you partner with people, there's like expectations and deadlines, and like because I work a full-time job on top of DJing and I DJ, like I couldn't get bogged down in it. So now I just make content when I feel like I have something important to show or say, when I can fit it in, and that's it. Like I haven't posted a video in probably 3 or 4 weeks, like right before I think Christmas was my last YouTube video. Like I can't have that pressure of working with companies.
Mm-hmm.
So and this is another thing that I kind of want to bring up and to talk about, like the elephant in the room, with this whole influencer thing. I really hate being called an influencer, but I guess
you're really pulling the covers back on you. You just go ahead.
But I understand why people would think that or say that, and I take it with a very kind of like the Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. So I want to make sure that I'm being very helpful and honest and transparent in everything that I put out there, and that it's factual, it's accurate. I don't release videos without painstakingly going through the manuals of things, or maybe even reaching out to the manufacturer. But anyway, back to the point, is a lot of people assume that, people are paid to say things or deliver, dishonest reviews, or, you have to say something positive because you were giving something for free. I'm going to tell you right here, right now. If I am given like anything, it would be cheaper just to buy it than the 20 hours it takes me to produce, record, edit, post a video on something, like the Everse 8, right? It took me almost 25 hours to make that review that I made on it, going back and forth with the manufacturer, doing my testing and things like that. It's like a $700 speaker. Trust me, it would have been cheaper just to buy the damn speaker. I swear to God. So I don't do it for the money. I don't do it because I'm paid to say things. I authentically just enjoy making content. My day job, I'm a teacher, so it translates well. Like it's just easy for me to kind of speak on camera. And I like making videos for content that I know would be helpful to me if I was looking to buy something, and that's it. So
I have to tell you my favorite video while we're talking about this. It was the stealth alto things where you went all through the house, put it in the house, outside the house, around the side. That video was hilarious. But I think that's somewhere where I came in, but I used to watch him. I said, wow, that's really cool. And I mean, it's not like it's hard to watch. You kind of break it down, give us good content. So you did a good job, but I understand, like I said, I thought about that too. That's a lot of work because people, I need you to tell me this, I need that. And then, you don't want to ruin the relationship, because I was about to establish a relationship with one company and it was just like, well, you need to do this. Why haven't you reviewed that? I said, you know what? I'm going to put this back in the box and I'll pay for
exactly.
it. Yes.
So it's easier just to pay for it and do what you do, right? 100%.
If it has no expectations, would it be worth it for me now? Because if I want, like you said, if I want to review something, I'll put it out there and tell everybody about it. Yeah, I'm not getting paid. If I do anything, it's not because somebody has paid me to tell you. It's because I really, really and truly like that product.
And it's sad. It's sad when people can't see that, and they rather draw conclusions and think what they want to think, to satisfy themselves. Sometimes they have no idea the work that's put into providing a video. You know, a lot of people know nothing about editing videos, you know, or shooting videos. You know, you may have shot a video, shot another part. You have to put all that together. There's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah, gig logs.
Yeah.
Your gig logs, I'm sure that's a lot of work.
Yes. So
hours. And you know what I like to
Yes.
say to these people, because I've definitely had some really mean people like just say horrible things. And it's like, you know what? Then you do it. If it's so easy and all that, then why aren't you making the
doing it.
videos?
Yeah, there you
Then
go.
you do it, you know? Like yeah, they have no idea what goes into producing, I'm going to say, valuable content.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes. It's easier than writing a couple of nasty words and hitting send.
Facts.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, you have another one.
What do you feel is the most beneficial thing from attending DJ conferences? I think we kind of covered this, but what is some stuff you get from them?
Well, I think you kind of hit the big one on the head, man. You know, there's only so much you can learn and pick up through watching a video, but if you can get your hands on something, you know, retailers pay a lot of money, you know, to have these 20 by 20, you know, squares to bring new product to you so you can see it, test it, touch it. You know, you're not going to be able to do that anywhere else. Now, I don't know about in your area, but like Guitar Centers and kind of these grassroots, you know, mom and pop audio stores, like they're drying up. So there really is no other place to get your hands on stuff than really to attend these conferences, or like Harvest of Sound, right? To my knowledge, there's nowhere in the country where you can have $500,000 worth of speakers in one room and hear anything you want and compare it to any top versus any top with the one and only Ben Stowe, nonetheless.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know, sound is very personal. Your ears are going to tell you what you like, and it has nothing to do with watts on a sheet or, you know, SPL readings or any of that. If you can get in front of it, get there, you know. And then obviously the networking, you know, we say that, but really taking time out to meaningfully connect with people. You know, look at trends that are going on in their area. I've met so many great friends there, and just it kind of like renews your commitment. You know, it makes you energized, you feel good, it brings a little extra confidence. You know, I don't know, I find them extremely invigorating. Now, you don't have to go to 5, you know, like I do every year, but you should pick one and invest in yourself and just give yourself a break and go connect with other pros and people as passionate as you. Kick back, have a couple drinks, you know, have some pizza on the boardwalk or whatever it is, and just have a good time, you know. I think it's important.
The most important thing she just said right there: invest in yourself and the networking. Even if you sit in just at somewhere and just listen to other people, and then see the examples that they're doing and what they're doing. You know, like Michael Walter or Bill Herman or whoever's there. Because I mean, my first conference I ever went to, Mobile Beat. Bill Herman, me and my wife walking through looking like 2 lost puppies. He came and hung out with us for the rest of the entire day, took us around, showed us everybody, introduced us to all kind of folks. Bill didn't have to do that. He didn't know us from a hole in the wall, but I made so many great relationships from the attending conference. Heck, I met you at a conference. It's just been, you know, it's great. And that's what you really get out of it. Yeah, it's great speakers, great presenters, going to give you ideas. I don't know how many of us actually go back and execute them, but you know, at least it gives you some nuggets or something. If you just take one thing out of every conference and go back and put it to work, it might change your whole business perspective.
Yeah.
You get out what you put in.
There you go.
You know, 100%. You get out what you put in. So
always. And I'll say this, you know, for me, I've never been to one, but me and Jeff have spoken about so many things. And one of the things that I've always taken away from the conversation is the power of networking and talking to like-minded individuals. And just from talking to him and hearing that, it always sparks me, you know what, I got to go experience that. Because you know, so many of us get caught up in our little box and we think that that's the entire world. You're going out here and you're seeing how other people see what you see and how they do it and how they interpret that information. How, you know, like I was telling someone today, the way that you may play Crazy in Love by Beyonce is different the way that I may play it. And just experiencing that difference is a beauty. It's beautiful. And for that, in the education, you know, if we're truly in this for the right reasons of being better DJs and better businessmen and women, then it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
And here's another example. Actually, with the conference, I actually have a life-changing moment from one of them. This was back when Mobile Beat was Mobile Beat, before it became, now as we know, MEX. And speaking of Mike Walter, he was running something called the MC Institute, where you can go into this room and you sign up and you pretty much do a quick little performance on the microphone, whether you want to do a mock wedding introduction, whether you want to do a game, whether you want to do, you know, some type of award show, literally anything you want to do on the mic. And he kind of sits there with his notepad and he literally critiques you live in action. And you're sitting in front of a room full of your peers and you have to go ahead and do mic work. Now, one of my biggest weaknesses has always been the microphone. In fact, I held myself back for probably over a decade doing weddings, simply because I didn't think I had the skills or talents to be on the microphone, and it like made me nauseous, like legitimately. So I don't know if you guys know Big Daddy Sean McKee, but all week at Mobile Beat, he was like, your ass better be in there. You better get in there, Rach. And I was like, leave me alone. I'm not going. Like, you're crazy. That lovable SOB pulled my arm, dragged me into that room. And I said, fine, I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to observe. I'm not going to participate, but at least I'll be in the room. Well, lo and behold, the last day Mike Walter was running that MC Institute, guess who got up and performed a mock wedding introduction and literally faced my fears, and the feedback I got and just the confidence that built for me literally changed my path and trajectory for the rest of my career. Like it was literally a life-changing moment for me. If I didn't go to that show, that never would have happened. Who the hell knows if I'd still be avoiding weddings? I have no idea. But through colleagues, friends, and just these opportunities that pop up, you have no idea the ripple effect that can come from going to these things. So I think they're tremendously important.
And you know, that's funny. All of us come from different backgrounds. So I started kind of radio. So that's why I'm not afraid. And, you know, I opened the microphone, my whole city listening to me. I'm like, oh, that was my only time ever really super being nervous when I opened that microphone and say, Lord, what am I going to say? But yeah, you have life-changing moments. I mean, like you meet some great people that are going to pour into you for the rest of your life. Every DJ that's in DJ Crosstalk is somebody I've met at a conference or has reached out to me and has been vetted. If you're not worthy of being better than the people already in here locally, there's no reason. But it's just, I mean, like I say, it's some great guys in there from Chicago, Cleveland, wherever you see them at. Those guys and young ladies, Fallon, you, everybody in that group is somebody that can pour back into you if you just reach out and got a question for them. But we're going to keep it rolling, Mike. I'm a hush.
Oh, you good.
Just none of these questions.
You good. I just want to know, how does she become such a piece of aficionado? How did that happen?
Because I'm the worst cook in America, and where else can you spend $20 and eat for 3 days? Straight up, that's how it all began. I am the worst cook in America, and I was a broke-ass college kid. So I'd take $20, buy a pizza on a Monday, and it would last me until Thursday. I swear, like, I wish I had a better story, but
no, it's the truth. That's what we want, transparency. Yeah. I'm like, Mike, where did you find that question at?
Well, I have to say this, and this is a great thing. Actually, you know, one of my best friends, DJ Mad Scientist, who made our intro for us, we were talking earlier, and he said, "Oh, y'all gonna have Rachel on there?" And he said, "Man, ask her about her her fixation with pizza. He said because he saw you, talking, making videos about pizza and this and that. I said, you know what? And I was driving at the moment and I came to a stop. I said, let me type that in there. I'm going to make sure that I answer that. But yeah.
That's the truth. Worst cook in America. I'd be dead if it wasn't for it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we need to send you to a cooking school or something. So you've talked about this too, but you're somewhat of a celebrity DJ. So how did it start, or how did you start building a following to where even Big Daddy got up and talked about, talking about Rachel, she's streaming. Is it just from streaming or, just doing your lives, or what is it?
It really started to pick up probably 5 years ago with the YouTube thing. But if I'm going to just call it as simple as it is, folks, it's because of kindness. Giving everything I have, my time, my energy, always responding to people, always trying to give them the best information I can, being accessible and just putting good energy out there. It's helped tremendously. I've built my platform on kindness simply because, I didn't experience that all that much when I got started. And, now I have little girls, 9, 10, 12-year-olds in different parts of the world saying, my dad told me to, check out your YouTube channel. And, I think you're so cool. And I had a little girl's mom come to an event and she wanted me to sign an autograph on like a napkin. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I said, I'm not creepy, but if you feel comfortable, give me your address. And I sent the little girl a pair of pink Bluetooth headphones with a personal note that was just like, you're a rock star, you can be anything you want to be. If you ever want to come work for me, when you can finally lift a speaker that's 45 pounds or more, give me a call. And gave her a couple stickers, and it was awesome. So through things like that, it comes back tenfold. But honestly, just kindness and being available and doing whatever you can to elevate the industry. I'm really big on all ships sail with rising tides. I don't see people as competition like at all. I'm an open book, and that's pretty much it, man. And just consistency, showing up every day. There's times I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't want to think of like a cheeky, caption for Instagram. I find social media exhausting sometimes, but you have to show up every day and just do what you got to do. So
let me, I have a follow-up. And I know we had some conversations before we started and so forth. And this is the first for me because I don't know you. Jeff knows you. And I'm just very pleased with, your responses. You just seem like such a genuine person. And I love how you look at what you do and everything that consists of. So in dealing with all of the madness, how do you keep yourself centered and not get bottled up and get caught up in all of the crazy things that people may say towards you and about you?
It's hard. I'd be lying if I said I didn't cry. I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about quitting or saying, why do I put myself through this? I don't need to subject myself to this. I'm not getting paid to be like abused and have people, everything from calling me fat to stupid. You have no idea what's come into my my inbox over the years. But when you get that client that sends you that message that says, thank you for the best night of my life, nothing else matters. So the guy who called me fat and dumb, last Saturday on a video, who cares? You're not paying my bills. You know what I mean? You have to refocus your priorities and just the joy and the goodness from the people like you, that I connect with, and again, my clients that appreciate my work and just the wonderful opportunities. Like, guys, we're blessed to be able to do this. And if if you're out there listening and you don't feel that you are one of the luckiest people on the earth to be able to do what we do, you need to reevaluate yourself, because I don't know what else to say. So when you shift your priorities and your thinking, it's easier to go to bed at night. But do some people say some things that, make me a little sweaty on the brow sometimes? Absolutely. Do I type out angry answers and then hit delete and say, you know what, Rach, it ain't worth it? Yeah. Sometimes it's cathartic just to complain to a couple of close colleagues and just keep it, in the circle and then keep it moving so it's not public. I mean, I wish I had a more eloquent answer. It's not easy, but I guess
it's keeping it real. It's keeping it real.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But I have Mike, you said I have a follow-up. So do your kids at school, or what grade do you teach?
So I actually don't teach kids because I don't like them very much.
Wow.
Okay, so the other crazy part of my life. So I actually wanted to be a police officer. My father was a detective my entire life, and my dad was like my best friend, and I admired the hell out of him, and I just kind of wanted to follow in Dad's footsteps. And he pretty much was like, no, go do something else. So I became an EMT. I went to college for health education and PE. And then when I got through pretty much my master's and I had to do my student teaching, I was like, yeah, no, I don't do kids. Like, I can't do this every day. So I had a teaching degree in something that I didn't want to actually teach for. But I was working as a security officer while I went through college because it wasn't retail. I hate selling things. And it was a 24-hour industry. So I could go to school and work, and it was like really easy. Well, it turns out I was like a really good security officer, and I became a supervisor and account manager and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, long story short, I actually now teach for a corporate security company to security personnel. And I do things like active shooter courses, first aid, CPR, AED, use of force, report writing, de-escalation, kind of so they don't get hurt, killed, or sued. So I still teach, but it's adult education for security professionals.
See, I had saw that, but I say, Rachel says she's a teacher. I saw her teaching something else one night when you told us you had to go do something. We were talking about something, but okay, I got you. All right, cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I take it that you don't DJ proms or school events.
I do, but my cap, like I have a Sweet 16 this month. My cap is like 16 and up. I'll do a quinceanera close enough, but like I can't tell you how many times I get called, and this is the female DJ thing. They see like a friendly faced, blonde girl, and they're like, do you want to DJ my 6-year-old's birthday party? And it's like, nope. No, I do not. So I don't do, and I'm not being 100% honest. Have I done, things for the American Cancer Society and youth events and like community things?
That's controlled.
But
that's different. That's different.
But I'm not being hired for a 2-year-old's baptism. Like I don't do that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So,
you're not gonna be well versed in kid bop.
No. No.
Wow. Fun fact we're getting out of Rachel here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. That is a fun fact. Okay.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. So my just the thing, what kind of advice would you give a young lady just starting out, getting into this? I mean, I know there's no quick ways around, but still doing everything you did, learning the craft, learning to do everything. And there's a sighting of my lady DJ there.
We got a sighting. All right. Okay.
I'll make sure I introduce you next time, Rachel. But is there any kind of advice, even if you would give it to young Rachel, that could make your road a little easier, or something you could tell somebody starting out now?
Really good question.
Of course.
Again, a couple of responses to this, I guess. The first is going to be stay true to who you are. And I know it seems kind of obvious, but I definitely had some events that people assumed I was a female, that I would be okay with. Here's a quick story. So I pretty much got catfished. One day, this guy reached out and was like, "Hey, you know, we have a new nightlife venue opening up. We're looking for some fresh talent. You know, would you mind, meeting up for lunch or something so we can kind of, just talk and see what we could work out and this and that." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Of course, this was a long time ago, so I was young, I was super hungry, like I was chomping at the bit for any opportunity. So anyway, I meet up with this guy, and long story short, it was for a gentleman's club. Now, I wish they would have told me that, because I would have politely, I wouldn't have went through all the trouble I did to drive 45 minutes and this and that and the other thing. But, I felt that it was kind of like really disrespectful how they went about it. It was very sneaky. And I actually even entertained the conversation. Like, I don't look down on, people that DJ in knife environments or gentlemen's club, but there was definitely an expectation to wear certain things and do certain things, and I was like, nah, man, this ain't my jam. It's off brand. It's not something I'm interested in. So don't let people try to define your success by what they think you should look like, what you should wear, what you should say, the type of music you should play. Like, do what's comfortable to you. And even if that means turning down some opportunities, that's okay.
Okay.
And don't be afraid of technology. There's a lot more to this business than just knowing music. And there's a lot of great technology out now that makes doing this job a little easier on all of us. You know what I mean? I don't have to carry out an 18-inch Cerwin Vega anymore. There's different stuff available, but I don't want any female to be intimidated by the technology part of it. There's a lot of information out there now, and just to dive on in and learn all aspects of it. Like, don't just buy a controller and practice the music. Like, you should know what to do. What happens if your laptop goes down? What if your hard drive gets corrupt? What are you doing for your backups? Do you know how to properly use a microphone? Do you understand, frequencies and proper scanning and, just like the whole tech end to make sure that things pop off successful? I would encourage ladies to really dive in. And that was also another benefit of the reviews I did. It forced me to get smart, if I'm going to talk about it, I better know what the hell I'm doing, So I'm one of the few people that actually reads the owner's manual.
And I'm just going to say everything you said, that goes for the guys too. Learn frequencies, learn backup, learn everything. Don't just do it because she wants to be independent as a young lady. Be independent as a DJ. Know your stuff. Don't have to call Johnny to come, do this, do that for you. Make sure, you know what you're doing. You understand your equipment. If you're in a hotel and the frequencies or whatever, you know how to find. So it does not. I like that. That's not just for you. That's for everybody in this business. Know your stuff. Know your equipment.
And for me, there is no worse phone call that I get while I'm DJing of someone calling me, "Hey, my hard drive won't pop up. What do I do?" Or my headphones, I can't hear myself in the headphones. What
am I doing wrong?
Yeah. I'm just saying it's and I don't mean to be funny. It's just we have to stop being the you're not on fries at McDonald's or McDowell's. You're not on fries. And I don't know if you got that reference.
Don't worry.
But that's the original Coming to America,
the McDonald's, yeah.
At McDowell's, the guy, he said, "I'm on fries. One day I'll be on the grill." But we have to learn how to
do everything.
Be better. It's not just your job to go up there and spin. Know your equipment.
Yeah.
Some people don't even know how to download a song and rip a song from YouTube.
Yeah. They don't even know that anyway, though, Mike. But there's a couple questions in here. I'm going to answer right quick. So one question from Chris. this probably be something you have to tell him offline. What would you be your best advice to building your social media and putting out good content for branding reason and setting yourself apart?
The first thing I guess I have to say is just doing it. You know, you just have to get stuff out there, and it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pretty. It might have some shoddy editing and this and that, but the only way you're going to get better is to just post and look back and make changes and get feedback. But you'll never get there if you're not doing it. You know, and so many people, they watch all these videos and reviews and influencers, and they buy expensive cameras and tripods and lighting, and they don't do anything with it. You know, so we opened up the show with this, right, folks?
Yes,
I literally use my iPhone 14 Pro Max for everything, and a $20 selfie stick off of Amazon. I don't have a gimbal. I don't have ring lights. It's literally my cell phone, and I might use a little Bluetooth. It's called a Smart Mic Plus if I want a little better audio. Right now I'm just using my AirPods, but I'm telling you, I am like so low tech. You don't need expensive stuff to make good content. You just need, well, block out some time, a little ingenuity, and just you, and that's it. So just get started.
Make it happen, Kevin.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Kevin. Love it.
Another question. Mobile DJs have such an interesting angle within the private events industry. What are some of your favorite perks as a DJ?
Oh my God, this is embarrassing and shameless. And I don't want people to stop now because now I'm gonna blow up my own cover. But I get
nobody's gonna watch
like,
this
all the time. I get like free pizza like all the time. It's an amazing perk. Like I had like at all these like conferences and stuff, like I'll go to take people out, they'd be like, nah, I got it, let me get you. People will just bring me entire pies because they're so proud of their local pizza shop. I get so much free pizza and it's amazing. It's like the best.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were gonna be something worse, like you were getting free tickets to sporting events, to Celtics or something, or UConn basketball or something. Yeah. Okay, free pizza. That's pretty cool. All right.
They're adding to your addiction.
And waistline, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Any more questions for our wonderful guest this evening? It's DJ Rachel from Connecticut.
So I do have a question for you, Rachel. So with your super hectic schedule, do you make time to get in the lab, or
I can answer that for you. Yeah, she does.
Yeah. Well, I want to hear.
You say getting like
make mixes,
like mix and stuff. Oh, dude, you have no idea. So I'm on like 7 different radio stations, like internet stations, FM in Gainesville, Florida. So I have to give them 1-hour mixes every single week. And one of my shows is a 2-hour mix once a month. So like it forces me to get behind the decks, download new music, set my cue points. And it really started during the pandemic because, no one was doing nothing. So I was like, all right, if I can't mix for people, I'll mix for, people to tune in on radio stations. And I just stuck with it. And one station picked up into 2 and another and another. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it. Sometimes I'm just not feeling creative and they don't care. They need their mix because you have your dedicated slot. And if you don't do it, they're going to find someone else who does. So that keeps me super sharp. And I have to schedule time because people count on me and I made a commitment. So
you put in practice in a week or to get your mixes out? How much time are you in the lab? We call it the lab, just playing music. How many hours do you think you put in a week? Because I saw you had 4 shows. I saw the little advertisement you had with the 4 shows coming up.
Probably at least 8. Sometimes
a full work day,
16?
just DJing at home.
Yeah, no, it's broken up,
But I'm saying
absolutely.
I'm just putting it together and saying that's a full work day of in the lab getting better at what you love to do.
100%. And sometimes it's more than that. Especially if I have like a wedding, music prep, downloading my record pools, retagging things, color coding. It's hours. Anywhere from, I'd say, 12 to 20 hours. Like no joke.
I have to give you the Ricky Bobby hands.
Wow. See, these great little things I would have never known if we wouldn't have brought Rachel on the show. Because I don't know. Did somebody bring you a deep dish when we were in Chicago? How much deep dish did you eat when you were at the party night, the 80s night or the whatever night that was? How much deep dish did you eat?
Don't answer that.
I'm pretty sure they're the reason. I'm the reason that they like ran out. So I just claimed like, I'm not even joking. I claimed like an entire pie, but they knew that coming in. I said, Casey, like I want my own. Like hook it up.
It was really good. That was one of the best parties put on by a show producer that I've been to. It was really good. It was really good. Yeah.
Chris,
it was a blast.
Yeah, Chris wanted to know what's your favorite pizza.
All right. Complicated answer was as everything else with DJ Rachel. So if I go to a new place, I'm always getting cheese. Because if you don't make a good cheese, you ain't gonna make nothing else good. Like I'm judging you. That's like going to an Italian restaurant. If you can't make good chicken parm, you shouldn't even be open. You know, like back to the basics. I have yet to have a place that checks all the boxes. So I have a place for like everything. I got a spot that I go for barbecue chicken. I got a spot for cheese. I got a spot for grandma's pie. Like I got this stuffed pretzel pizza that I love. Like I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. But if I just had to pick, like eat one for the rest of my life, it'd probably be grandma's pie. And if you don't know what that is, just Google it.
Grandma's
it's a little thicker crust. Grandma's pie.
Okay. All right. We're gonna do that.
It's my favorite. I love it.
Wow. I learned some things about pizza that I didn't know.
Yeah. Wow. So one more time, what's all your socials if somebody wants to connect with you, DJ Rach?
So everything is at DJ Rachel Lynch, literally Mixcloud, Instagram, TikTok. If you find me on Instagram, I have a link tree that will link you to like everything. So it'd be easier to find. And then if anyone wants to reach out personally, my email address is djrachel@me.com and I will always get back to you.
Yeah. This was one.
I even have my phone number on my like Facebook banner. I'll text me. I don't care. I told you I am 100% accessible. So
yeah. Again, the Ricky Bobbies.
Wow. I guess I won't see you till Chicago unless we hook up in Midwest or whatever. But
and what date is that? Because that might
Chicago is in June. I have to get it. I don't know them off the top of my head, but yeah. But man, we don't want to take up your time because you are a busy lady and you probably need to get in the lab tonight and go work on one of those shows.
Yeah.
I do.
I like that. Is that a Avengers pullover or a hoodie?
Oh, yeah, check it out. Check out the threads, man. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I got a ton of their hoodies and stuff.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
I almost called you Cap.
Love Captain Marvel. She's one of my faves.
Yes.
Wow. Man, this was good. I want to thank you again for coming on. I'm going to say thank you again for coming on.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to say she didn't cut us off.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for having me and for the great questions in the chat. Thank you to anyone who tuned in. And it was just so awesome to be able to do this. So thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Until
Ricky Bobby hands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Ricky Bobbies.
All right.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
This is only a test.
DJs in MC, this DJ, he gets down.
Listen to this jockey's introduction to
Two DJs in a mic with your host, DJ Mike
Is that a timetable?
and DJ JP.
Well, get on it. It's your time.
Give me the mic.